What is the difference between random guys making 10k a month, living life, while some dudes are even struggling to grow their little businesses? It's not the specific side hustle they do, it's not their age, and it's not their IQ, although the last part is debatable. There is actually a 3-phase system that every single successful person uses to make so much more progress than the average brokey in their business. And nobody talks about it in detail, bro. This will genuinely change the way you operate your money-making journey. I may not make 10k a month right now, but I managed to make over $31,000 with TikTok, monetize 2 Faces YouTube channels in just a couple of months, grow a private community, and a lot more at 17. And I'm a complete dumbass, bro. Let's say you wanted to open up a restaurant and the main objective is to make it out the trenches. We're not a charity, we're trying to make money, like exploit your workers type of money. How would you go about it? Our vision is like a fancy restaurant for like older people to dine in and hopefully leave a couple more zeros at the end just cause they can. You would probably spend a couple of weeks just planning and prepping. What kind of equipment do you need? You create a fire looking menu with food that is way too expensive for the amount you actually get. Then invest in a location and do some advertisement to get some people in. And open up store. And if the quality is actually good, people will eventually come in. Wrong. That is why you make no money in your actual side hustle, bro. When I started my second Faces YouTube channel with a friend of mine, I had the idea of making videos about game development. By doing these Mr. Beast type of challenges, but just coding silly games instead. Because we definitely did not have a Mr. Beast type budget. We could have done the exact same mistake. Spend months trying to perfect the first game, perfect the editing, and cook up the best video known to man. By doing that, we would have spent so much time investing into an idea, a dream that we weren't even sure people liked. We didn't know how to make a video or a game that gets views, bro. We're dumb teenagers. We don't even know how to write emails or talk to women. What you're doing right now is creating the perfect business plan for yourself instead of for the customer. And they're actually gonna be the ones giving you money, right? So instead we created a video that was just good enough. It had all the features of a good video. We had editing, we had some games, but we spent like a week creating it instead of a month. For your store, instead of investing into all the equipment, you create a basic menu with the food you're gonna sell and maybe even create a little 3D model of what the store is gonna look like. But that's it. You call that the minimal viable product or MVP. It is essentially just a product that has enough features to attract the first people but isn't finished in any way. Now you're probably thinking that you don't actually want to open up a store, but a cool online business like social media or a clothing brand. You still need to create your MVPs. You dumb They just look a little different. If you're trying to be the next Quan and start a clothing brand, instead of spending months creating the most beautiful design known to mankind, buying 1,000 hoodies and trying to sell them, leaving you with 1,000 hoodies at the end of the day, you buy a single piece to take all the photos with and do all the marketing, and you just do print on demand for a while. So outsourcing the production to third world countries that only print your stuff if you actually make a sale. If you want to do some type of coaching, your MVP might be the first offer to your clients, even though you have no idea how to actually achieve your promised results yet. Now the MVP is obviously just a shitty version of what you're actually trying to do, but by taking this MVP and moving on to phase 2, we're actually able to tell if you're gonna make it out or stay broke. But before that, if you actually want to speedrun your progress, you can click the first link in the description and join the BSY formula. It's free and I'm gonna be spilling so much sauce, bro. Pause, I guess. So my friend and I created our first MVP, which was just the first video. It was kind of like an Omegle challenge where we just asked some random people to answer some questions, and we made a game out of that. With that MVP, we essentially just created our thesis, right? This product we just created is gonna attract customers, aka take money out of their pocket and put it into our pocket eventually. We now have to actually test this thesis. This is like Hustler's science, bro. Hustler's University. So I hit the little upload button to actually get our first customers to use our product, aka just people watching the video. For your non-existing fancy restaurant, you could, for example, run ads in the area your store is actually gonna be, and in those ads you just present your menu. This is the food we're gonna sell. You can pre-order our food for a discounted price once the store actually opens. Or you can also make like TikTok videos about your store. Just think about how to actually get your first eyeballs on your MVP as soon as possible, because no matter how they respond, it's gonna be the key to actually unlock a room full of gold, bro. What we're essentially doing is gaining market feedback to see if the product or service we created is actually needed and has product market fit. Sounds boring as f, I know, but essentially, customer want your thing or not, what is good, what is bad. With that information, we now only need the last and most important piece of the puzzle that will skyrocket the way you will make progress in your side hustle, bro. I promise. By releasing our first MVP or video to the public, we were able to gather a ton of information without spending months creating a random game. First, we got a couple of comments saying how underrated we are. We were also able to look into the details, such as retention, which is how long the people actually watched the video for. And the graph was flat, which is great. But in general, we didn't get a lot of eyeballs, which means that YouTube had a reason why they didn't push out our video to more people. For the restaurant, it's pretty simple. How many people actually pre-ordered your food from the ads or TikToks that you posted? With all the information, we now need to do two things, which are gonna be make or break. You need to actually shape your business into something that is attractive to your customers, which will obviously change the way your business will look or operate. But that's fine. We're here to make money, bro. Not have some clothing brand that loses 10K a month just because we like to design. Let's say literally nobody pre-ordered your food. Your starting goal was to attract some older, wealthy people. But you can see that nobody who's in the customer profile actually wanted your shit. But you actually got a ton of orders from like hippies in their 20s who only ordered cocktails. Boom. We can now restructure the restaurant to actually fit the needs of the hippies who want to get drunk and have a good time. So instead of wasting 20 bands building a restaurant, which was the initial idea and dream, we now actually decide to invest our money into building a bar because that's what our customers actually want. My friend and I noticed that the quality of our MVP was just fine because all the people who actually clicked on the video watched it till the end basically. But the video ideas themselves just didn't appeal to a bunch of people. So we experimented and reshaped our business until we found out that horror games just did crazy numbers. We had a video hit like 700,000 views and had a bunch of 100K videos. That is called pivoting, going into a different direction in your business based on actual numbers and feedback. People actually wonder when Mr. Beast changes his thumbnail like 20 times a video. Mr. Beast is a whole ass corporation, my guy. He does that to simply see which thumbnail attracts more customers, and he also learns from that for his future videos. So now that you know what to actually change and how to pivot, you create your next MVP with all that feedback and just see how the next generation of your MVP performs. And this is where the actual cycle of improvement begins, bro. With each cycle completed, your product will get better and better until you're at the top of the game, my guy. And the good thing is, you will never waste a ton of time creating a product or a service that nobody actually wants, because you're listening to real-world feedback instead of just grinding all day and hoping to make money one day. The 10 bags a month are just waiting if you actually apply this system to your side hustle. So to sum it up, you create a prototype of what you have in mind, which is your thesis. You then test that prototype to a small amount of customers. You then get their feedback by either just asking or just by looking at numbers and metrics. And then you either decide to continue improving your product with the vision you had in mind, or change up the direction based on the feedback. Because in reality, your ideas and visions aren't actually that great, even if it's just editing a video or trying to do an agency, which is easy. And the most important thing, you do that systematically by following this framework instead of just f***ing around and finding out. Now, all this information is essentially useless if you actually always switch from business to business. So if you want to fix that problem first, you can click on this video.